first. Okay, today we week 4. Okay, from the supervision class, today we talk about building trust in your workplace. Now you as a leader, supervisor, manager, or team leader, how to make your team work effectively and reach your goal. So you need to make them work as a team, and how they have a lot of advice. But this is some of them that we're going to call them the 10 advice that you can use to build your team. So some of them is very basic. It's just about trust. How to make them trust you. How to make them trust one another. You cannot demand it. You need to earn it. So now, if, for example, how you make your children trust you. They say, oh, children believe everyone. Well, yes, the first few times. After that, you don't keep your words. The children don't trust you anymore. They will say that you lie all the time. You don't keep your words. So now you lost that trust. Now you see that you don't earn it. You think that you can get it anytime you want. No. You might get some credit for the first few times. People give you the benefit of doubt that you are the good one. They can trust you. But after a few times, most people don't trust you anymore. Now, why people trust you? People need to trust in order to feel secure, confident. If you live in a group that you don't trust anyone, now you don't feel secure. You don't feel confident. You in fear all the time. So the group that can work together, live together, need to feel secure. In order to feel secure, they need to trust one another. So it goes hand in hand. When they trust you, they feel secure. They don't trust you, they don't feel secure. They feel very shaky, no confidence. Now you see that when people don't trust you, they don't feel secure, they doubt about you, they don't believe in you. And a lot of things you cannot work with them as a team anymore. So trust is the basic thing that you need to have to start with. And in America, we always say that lawyer and client have special relationship. Even the judge respect that. How? Mean that whatever you tell your lawyer, you don't need to tell anyone. And the lawyer can tell anyone. But just the lawyer and client, because they depend on one another and they need to trust one another. So they need to tell everything to that part. So even the court, the judge cannot make the lawyer tell what you tell them. They say this is a special privilege between lawyer and client. So in the workplace, sometimes you want someone to trust you as a leader. You need to keep that secret confidential. If you don't keep it, they don't trust you anymore. But you still have a limit, what you can keep confidential and what is cannot. In the past, a pastor can keep everything. People come to the pastor and tell the pastor everything secret, everything confidential. The pastor don't need to tell the court, the police, or anyone. But now the new law coming out force the pastor, counselor, psychologist, doctor to report to the police if your client, your patient confess to you that they kill someone or they abuse children, sexual abuse, children. That is the law. So you cannot keep it secret anymore. You need to report. If not, you go to jail. Why they make it? Because they found out that a lot of the guy who do a lot of bad things, get protection more than the victim. So the law protects the murderer, the bad guy, more than the victim. So it's not fair. The victim cannot say anything. So now the law changed a little bit to protect more of the victim and take away some of the benefit or the bad guy have. So this is still something. They say that today people don't trust one another and trust less and less. You ask American people, you trust the president, maybe half say no. You trust the Congress, more than half say no. You trust the Supreme Court, more than half say no. So what that mean? Mean that they lost all the trust because people feel that they did not really do the good job. They cannot trust them anymore. Now come back to us. At a church, at a Christian organization, how we build trust in our team. Now there is some study. They say that if your team trusts one another, they have 74% less stress. Mean that they feel comfortable working together. They enjoy it. But if they don't trust one another, they doubt, they fear, they feel insecure. Now they have a lot of stress working with you or staying with you in your team. Now you ask yourself, in your experience working at a team for your church or somewhere else, you ever feel comfortable, trust everyone in your team all the time? Or sometimes you feel that you cannot trust anyone. You don't feel comfortable working with them. You have to ask yourself why. Why? Why you don't trust them? Why you don't feel comfortable working with them? And this can mean more when you have the people come to your church. Why they come back? The guests who come to your church every week, will they come back if they have a chance? Some cannot come back because they live too far or for many other reasons. But one of the big reasons is they don't feel comfortable, so they don't come back. But if your guests or people who come to your church the first time feel very welcome, very comfortable, the chance they're coming back is a lot. So that tells a lot. It's not just your team, it's everyone, your member too. If your member come to worship and don't feel comfortable, don't feel welcome, now they don't come back. So why they join you? Why they want to be part of you? Only when they feel welcome, comfortable, and they can trust you. People need to earn that and need to have that. Now in today's society, trust is still very important. Now you go to a lot of study about the company that people love to work with. Why? Because the workers feel that the company respect them, trust them, honor them. It's not just about money. Money is one thing, yes, but even you pay them a lot, but they don't feel comfortable work for you, don't feel that they can trust you, they don't stay long. Whenever they have a chance, they move on. And now we talk about a church, a ministry, a team. Why they join your team? Why they help you? You might say that, oh, we're serving God. Yes, every church serving God. Oh, we help the people who need us. Yes, every church tries to do that. But still, why they join your team? That's a good question we always have to ask ourselves. Why people will join us? Why people will work with us? Why people will help us? They have a lot of choices. why they choose you, why they be part of your team. Now here, they will present you two types of trust that you need to know. The first kind they call practical trust. What that means? This is they call the traditional type. When you say you trust someone, normally we call practical, because people feel that way the first time, or they know that they can trust you. So this is all the time we call practical one, the simple one, that you can see it all the time. When they talk with you, you can tell that they trust you, or they don't trust you. So the second one we call emotional. This is from the psychological term. We call emotional trust. And this is not open. And people will have this relationship with you when you can connect with them emotionally. This is above normal trust. The normal trust, or the traditional one, is just the one that you build by working together, spend time together, and relationship with work, that you can earn that. But emotional trust is another thing. It's a higher level. It's just you can cross over to the feeling. It's like empathy. Empathy different from another kind of feeling. You see that when you saw some people hurt, you say, oh, I sympathy you. Mean that, oh, I feel sorry for you. That's sympathy. But empathy, they don't need to tell you. You can feel it. So this is a higher feeling, that intuition, that you need to practice, or you have a gift. It's not normally you have. And I have seen a lot of people who are good people don't have empathy. What that mean? I don't mean that they are the people who don't care about other person, but they don't have the gift. They don't feel the feeling of other people. They have to try. When they go funeral, they have to try to feel sorry. So they don't have the empathy. The empathy, you don't need to try. You can feel it through the air, or you can feel it just by looking. So this is related to emotional trust. You can connect with people emotionally. The example, you can see that when some good speakers speak, people connected with them emotionally. In church, we always call spiritually, but a lot of time it starts with emotion. Or you go to the concert and you connect with the singer. Some never feel that, but some can connect right away. So you might say that the person who feels it have that empathy, or the singer himself, herself have that power to connect with people. So now this is the second thing that all the successful leader, pastor need to learn or need to have. So people can trust you, work with you. And I present a lot of study that a lot of employees feel that they love the company because they feel the leader or their boss have that empathy to them. So they relate to one another. So it go hand in hand. Empathy, connected feeling, it go on that people think that or believe that they can trust you because you understand it. You feel what they feel. And then feel that you care about it. So this is come from a lot of study that we present here that you can think about it. And I will come back to stop here a little bit to come back for your reflection or your question about two kinds of trust, conventional and emotional, and how to earn the trust of your people, your team. How you do it? You think that your team, your group trusts you? You trust them? If you say no, now you have big problem. If you say yes, that's just the beginning. The second question that go on after that is why? Why they trust you? Why they don't trust you? Why you trust them? Why you don't trust them?
John, to me, why I trust them, but they're living and then acting for, they don't need to, say it. We have to see how they living to be example, to let us to believe, to trust. And also we are doing same thing. And not only say it, but you have to do and performing, let the, a member trust, to let them see what you perform, what thing you're doing. To me, I just based on this part. It's they do one thing and then they say one thing. They talk one thing, but they act one thing, and then that's to me that mistrust.
Yes, Ajahn, to me, I think that you have to you have to be the role model for them in order for them to trust you, to to earn your as respect. Yeah, and it's not just one time. I think it has to be many years to earn the trust. Example like my like employees. So anytime when there is an event, they always invited me to go, but I cannot go because once I go, and then I might my mouth might slip that I just slip I just some words that I shouldn't say. And then also that if I go with them, a lot of time when you drink, I don't drink for shoot, I don't know how many years now, but then before I was drinking. So then as anytime when I go with them, if they ask me examples, some of the employee ask me for a favor. If I do them a favor, that means it's not fair to the others. That is why then I stopped going with them. So then I have to stand firm on my ground that I don't go out with them. That means all of them knows that I care for them, that that I work with them every day. A lot of them knows. But then if they have any, special events which I cannot go, because once I go, then they will ask me for a favor. That which I cannot do because I have to be fair as with everybody. So I don't know if it's. I don't know. I'm not sure if I make sense to you, Ajahn.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
You need to be fair and just to all your employees.
Yes.
But I don't want you to cut out completely from them. You might set a standard. I go to your wedding. I go to your funeral.
That yes, that.
Or you can expand that your funeral, your wife funeral, or your parent funeral, or your kid funeral, or your children marry. Okay, just that very big occasion you will go. And to every employee need to know that. It doesn't mean that you don't care about them, but just tell them that there's so many of you, I cannot go every time to everything, just a few things, I will go. So confirm to them that you care, and you will go. You promise them that you will go. If a certain thing happen, let you know.
Right. Yes.
And let them know that not just you will encourage all your teamwork to go too.
Yes.
Okay, John.
Yes.
I get a few minutes and then let the person that we talk about, Sufei, to introduce himself. Nên đúng là Sufei sẽ mày nông triển khai và John có tiếng nhiều, mày có tầm mình như đúng là mình cần nên nằm tầm mình nhưตัวเป็นđúng là John có mà.
แนะนำยังจะเล่า
จะเล่าตัวจะแท้ที
โอเคอาจารย์ขน้อยซื้อซูเปอร์เดอร์อยู่ประเทศลาวแขวงเวียงจันทร์
โอ้ยินดี
ขน้อยอยากมาเรียนนำแต่ว่าบ่ฮู้จักภาษาเลยอาจารย์ ถ้าบ่มีโอกาสก็บ่เป็นหยังเด้อถ้าเว้าเป็นภาษาไทยหรือภาษาลาวบ่ได้บ่มันจะเสียเวลานะก็บ่เป็นหยัง
เพราะว่าหมู่เฮาที่นี่จากคนที่ฟังไทยเข้าใจหลายอยู่หรอกไทยและลาวบางคนคงบอกเข้าใจละ Like farm you understand Thai-Lao enough or both farm show and family both you understand Thai and Lao
Very little for me.
Oh, very little, maybe not enough.
That's okay. Give me opportunity to learn.
For me, when people speak, I understand, and but when I speak, not very properly, but still understand.
You know that I have been teaching in this school for 37 years. The first 15 years, I teach only in Thai. 15 years, only Thai. And then one day a new group of students come in and said, can you translate some into English? So I start speak Thai and English to the point that I finally had to speak only English because new students don't understand Thai and Lao. So finally the school changed to English completely for the last 20 years. Now, if I go to reverse again, they need to have a good reason for that.
Good idea. Yeah. Chan Sufei, you ไม่เปลี่ยนตามน้องเครดิตที่ฟังมาฮัจจันเอาเยี่ยมนะแต่เยี่ยมไม่เยี่ยมมาเชิดที่นี่นะครับว่าอันก็ไม่น้องเครดิตแล้วนำแต่จะโฮมเวิร์กจะเดียวกันบ้านอันก็ตามน้องดูว่า certificate ไทม์น้อง degree แล้วนะไม่เปลี่ยนนี่นะจางก็ไม่เปลี่ยนแต่สาธิตตัวที่
So a lot of things changed in the COVID. So what should I call you?
อาจารย์เพื่อจะบ่รบกวนผู้อื่นบ่เป็นหยังเด้อขน้อยจะมันหลายคนที่บ่เข้าใจภาษาลาวภาษาไทยแล้วก็บ่เป็นหยังเอาตามสบายเลยอาจารย์
อาจารย์บอกว่าถ้าเธอเข้ามาเรียนแล้วจะได้ฟังรู้เรื่องบ้างก็ดีถ้าอยากจะเข้ามา
ถ้าเป็นภาษาอังกฤษไม่รู้อะไรเลย
ไม่รู้อะไรเลยโอเคมีวิธีหนึ่งอาจารย์มีบทเรียนเก่าๆที่สอนเมื่อ 20-30 ปีที่แล้วที่เป็นภาษาไทยทั้งบทเรียนทั้งเทปที่อัดอาจารย์อาจจะติดต่อนักเรียนพวกนั้นว่าเขายังเก็บเทปที่อัดไว้สมัยโบราณ30 กว่าปีที่แล้วไม่รู้จะมีเครื่องเปิดหรือเปล่า
อาจารย์ผมยังมีอีเมลครับเดี๋ยวผมอีเมลให้สุเฟยวิชาของอาจารย์มี
ตำราเรียนหรือว่าเท็กซ์หรือว่าไอออน
ตำราเรียนครับ อาจารย์ตำราเรียน
อาจารย์จำได้ audio tape ก็เคยมี อาจารย์ให้นักเรียนเมียนคนหนึ่งเอาไปทำอะไรก็ไม่รู้หลาย10 ปีที่แล้วก็ไม่เคยได้ยินอะไรอีกเลย แต่นักเรียนเมียนผู้หญิงกลุ่มหนึ่งเคยเอาวิดีโอเทปอาจารย์ใส่เข้าไปในฮาร์ดไดรฟ์แล้วก็ใส่ลงไปในซีดีรอม
ไม่ใช่ไม่ใช่เหรอ
เขาชื่ออะไร
เหมยชงที่อยู่ซัก
จากซัคราเมนโต
ใช่
ชื่ออะไรอาจารย์จำไม่ได้
ชื่อเมย์ครับอาจารย์
เมย์
ชื่อเหมยเหมยชงเหมยชง
เมย์อะไรสักอย่างหนึ่ง
เหมยชงกับใครนะชวน
ใช่เขาแต่งงานกับคนเวียดนาม
ใช่
โอเค ถ้าติดต่อเขาอาจารย์เชื่อว่าเขายังมีบทคอปปี้บทเรียนอาจารย์วิดีโอเทปอาจารย์ทั้งหมด เป็นภาษาไทย ประมาณ20 กว่าวิชา ถ้าจะเรียนอย่างนั้นดูวิดีโอเทปแล้วก็รีจิสเตอร์ก็จะได้เครดิตเหมือนกันทำการบ้านส่งอาจารย์นะแล้วก็มีบทเรียนเป็นภาษาไทยภาษาลาวด้วย so that another option I have the video tape audio tape in Thai that I teach in the past about 20 courses and plus the handbook if you want to study that way for the Thai language or the Lao we also translate everything into Lao too or the textbook in Lao or the textbook in Thai about 20 courses and plus we have audio tape video tape in VSF and I think now they transfer into CD-ROM so you can put in computer too so I need to get in touch with May
I have some of those programs, Ajahn, the one that you put in tape CD.
Yeah.
Not video, but just a like file for
audio.
Your textbook. Yes, your textbook.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, the textbook. I talk about the video tape that they record my teaching.
Oh no, that I don't have.
Yeah. So, for example, we study something if our new friend want to come to join us and he can study by that reading the Thai-Lao textbook plus the audio video tape so he can learn something that way too
อาจารย์ครับ ไม่เป็นไรผมจะท่าเรียนกับอาจารย์คงไซนะแต่ถ้าใครมีเป็นวิดีโอเทปเป็นอะไรเป็นบทเรียนเก่าๆที่อาจารย์เคยสอนมาส่งมาให้ผมก็ยินดีจะเรียนด้วยนะไม่เป็นไรผมบายก็ออกก่อนนะไม่รบกวนเวลาละ
อาจารย์มีนักเรียนที่เรียนจากเมืองไทยโดยเรียนด้วยตัวเองคืออ่าน textbook แล้วก็ดูเทปภาษาไทยแล้วก็ทำการบ้านส่งอาจารย์2 คนที่เรียนเมืองไทยอย่างนี้มี2 คนเรียนอย่างนี้
โอเคไม่เป็นไรเดี๋ยวผมจะติดต่ออาจารย์คงไซกับอาจารย์แค่นะ
โอเคครับเป็นไร
อาจารย์ขอพระเจ้าอวยพรครับอาจารย์
พระเจ้าอวยพร Okay, you have any question before we take the first break about building trust? Yes, Nathan.
I have good example not to follow, Ajahn, about the. I think what we should do is our action would have to follow our words. Like I heard one story. Then 2 good friends, and his good friend went fishing and got fish. Call his friend and say, are you gonna come over and I got fish. The friend said, yeah, I'll come over when the fish done. Then you call me. So the good friend prepared fish everything and waiting for him to come. And he said, how come he's not coming? I don't see him. And he called his friend and said, hey, the dinner's ready. And are you coming? He said, oh no, I am in so place. I cannot come for this time. So I'm kind of like, you say that you want to come, but you don't. So I think it's good, but we have our action have to follow our words. They go hands in hand.
Yes, but sometimes something can happen, but you need to make it up, and you know that when something happens, that you cannot keep your promise, you still have to make it up and do something. But yes, sometimes accident happen.
I would say if you say you're gonna come, if you cannot make it, running late, behind, whatever, we need to be responsible. At least text or call. Say, hey, I'm sorry. I did say I will come, but something came up, so I have to cancel. Thank you for preparing, the food for me and wait for me, So at least say something, do something. Just don't go quiet. I think that's a very hurtful thing to do. Especially you say someone and they spend the time on it. They try to cook the best for you, and it's just not just eating fish, but anything. Like when you say you're gonna go shopping with me, I wait for you all day long, and you don't show up, you don't call. That's I don't think that's a good example.
Yeah, that's good that all of you have experience of people lost your trust. So in reverse, we have to be careful. We might lose our people trust in us because we did not careful. Sometimes we also forgot, and sometimes we also did not do what we were going to do it. Especially when you get older, you forget. Now I forget a lot. So now I have to keep record.
Ajahn, if you are a leader, Ajahn, if you're leaders, but your member or people that you care always make you lose the trust on them. But for you as a leader, you have to forgive them, and as many times, right?
Well, Peter asked Jesus, and Jesus answered how many times?
70 times 7.
Yeah. You start counting from side.
All right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess is that we know that they like they don't keep the promise so many times. They think that sometimes we think that, oh, they just don't care, But like you said, just forgive and forget and carry on to the next, case.
Sometimes we grew up in a culture that going on doing that all the time. But to be a Christian, we need to change bad culture. We cannot say this is our culture. When it's bad, it's against the teaching of the Bible, we need to change it. But sometimes it's difficult to change. And sometimes you need to know what they say. You know that when I started the church many years ago, I visit a lot of family, and they say that I may go. You know that I think that 50-50, but no, it means that 99, 100% no. But that's the way, a polite way to say that I may go.
Yeah, Ajahn, I think it's good if they say I might go, but to me, if they say I might go, I'm saying okay, maybe 40% they might come. Those 60% are not. So you don't expect much. But some people they say, yeah, I will come, I will go. Then you don't see them. That will say, oh, okay, and I know how that person is now.
Yeah, and some people keep telling me every time I will come, but most of the time never come to.
Yeah, but Ajahn, I think you have to be forgiving. They're not Christians, so we have to we have to show them our love, isn't it?
So, well, they might say it's our culture. We don't hurt people's feelings, so we always say yes. But it doesn't mean that. But I think it hurt more when you say yes and don't keep it. Well, I say this because a lot of Thai and Lao culture is that way. I don't know, the Mien culture is that way too. Don't want to hurt people's feelings, so you say yes all the time.
I think Ajahn, it's only certain people that does that make you lose the trust on them. And then next time when they keep saying that, you don't expect them they're gonna do it for real. You know, I think that's how I take it, because you know, most of the time that you be patient, but you don't get mad. You know, but sometimes okay, I'll be there in like 20 minutes. It end up of 3 hours.
Well,
I think that's a lot. Yeah.
You show up, so good.
Yeah. Show up is better than not showing up, right?
Yeah, some never show up.
Achan, that's about how about Matthew 21:28. That's two sons, right? So one said yes, but no. But one is maybe, that one's go. That's why, you know, for the human, always like that, I believe.
Well, the Bible that you quote, one say yes, but don't go. Another one say no, but go.
Exactly.
So Jesus said that which one better?
The
I
ones,
think the one that say no, Ajahn.
yeah.
So we always have choices to do, not to do, to be and not to be. And I think it boils down to the point that we care or not. If you care for it a lot, you will try your best. It's just when you don't care much. Okay, anyone have the last question before we take a break?
Yeah ผมเคยผ่านมาผมเคยมีปัญหาเกี่ยวกับemotion ผมถูกหลอกหลอนมาบ่อยครั้งบางครั้งคิดว่าไม่อยากจะเชื่อเพราะว่าโดนโกหกมาตั้งบ่อยครั้งแน่แต่ไม่คิดถ้าเราคิดว่าไม่เชื่อกับเขาแต่อาจจะมีความจริงถ้าเราคิดเชื่อกับเขาเขาก็มีแต่โกงกันอย่างนี้ไม่มีหยุดจะทำไงดีผมไม่รู้จะทำไงดีถูกหลอนมาตลอด
Well, your question is, can you trust someone that lie all the time? Well, it depends on who that person is and how much you love them, how much you care for them. If you love them and care for them so much, I think you still have to stick with that person, even they are that way. But if you don't care much about that person, maybe you find a new friend. Is it true that the saying say that you cannot change anyone? You can change yourself. Yeah,
That's good idea, John. I'll continue to Sunway's question. So we should continue, let them lie, or the same thing that the เลี้ยงแกะ we should not trust sometimes. We should.
Well, only God can change person. We cannot change anyone.
Should we believe or not?
I don't
That's
know.
right, Ajahn. That's what we trust. anybody cannot change one person, but the God is the one that changed them.
So we continue believe.
Then we know it. That is 100% the life, but we have to pray. We have to trust. Okay. อย่าปล่อยให้หมาป่ามากิน Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and come back. So now we go back again about building trust. Now we talk about young people with this generation. They say that a lot of study confirm that 22% of young people will work with the company that they can trust or care about trust culture. It's different from the old generation. The old generation don't care much. As long as they pay you well, the job is secure. The old generation will keep working there, even they don't trust their company. They don't trust their board. They don't trust their co-worker. They still suffer and work there. But the new generation people, 22% say no. They won't work in company that they cannot trust, or in the culture that no trust, and people don't care about trust. So that the new people care more about they can trust someone, they can work with someone as a team. That's so important. Now we see that in our society, now we go back to the church in the ministry. Why people don't trust one another and still go to the same church? Why? They might have other reason why they go. But in order to be a family, you need to trust everyone, or at least most of them, in order to be a functional family. And when you trust someone, you like them too. And when you have trust, they say that you have the likable ability, mean that you are friendly. And there's a lot of things that tell that when your team trusts one another, they work better and they care for one another. And you feel that it's a different feeling. But you know that in our culture, there's another thing that's going on. Because a lot of us are family or relate in some way. So that might be because that relationship keep us together. Because we are the family, so we support one another, and we support to help one another. And that is another way that we earn trust. We can rely on them, they can rely on us because we are family. But in the future, society, maybe we don't relate to anyone as family. You need to build one. Especially in America today, a lot of people don't have family. They are just one person. They don't have family. So they cannot live life that way. So they need to build a family. And you might see that today people build their own family. It's not necessary to have wife, husband, father, mother, and children. A family is a unit of people who come together and to help one another. So in the past, we see this culture is a church or a club. But today it's more than that. Some young people come to build a family of their own. They might not get married. They might not have sexual relationship, but they just move in to build a family, to share building and to be friends and to support one another financially, emotionally, and many other things. And the success of those families come from trust. They cannot just join in with anyone. It's just someone they can trust. someone that they care. And that's so important that people need a family. They need to trust one another. Now, here in the lesson, they will offer us some guidelines here. They say the first thing is in order to build a long-term trust or relationship is you think about long-term, not just a short-term. So you need to invest in something and hope that it will build by taking time. If you going to grow a fruit tree, in the past, it could take you at least 10 years for it to bear fruit. It takes a lot of time, but the fruit tree might last you 50 years or 100 years, a long time. So in that first 10 years, when you don't see any fruit, you need to work hard with love, with care, taking care of it until it bears fruit. It's like relationship. You don't think just about a day or two. You talk about years of building trust relationship. By being part of it, support one another, care for one another, that is a long-term investment. Be honest. They recommend that if we are not honest with one another, that you will never get that trust, and the trust will not last long. Honest. And it means that we can make mistakes sometimes, but always ready to fix that mistake. Be sincere, be honest. And the third thing that we talk a lot about this is commitment. When you keep your words, you do what you say, that means that you honor your commitment. When you don't do what you say, or you don't keep your promises, that means that you don't honor your commitment. So you lost trust. So stick with it. Even you suffer, even you have to pay the price, but you need to know that people trust you and you need to earn that trust. Don't take it lightly. This is serious thing. Admit when you're wrong. We all make mistakes, and we always have to accept that we make mistakes. Sincerely ask for forgiveness, apologize. That's something we need to do all the time. Don't keep quiet when we make mistakes and think that people don't talk about it. People don't notice it. They see, they know, they feel. So we need to take care of that. Communicate effectively. Talk. Let people know how you feel and what you need to do. The problem is in our relationship, a lot of time is we guess that they know, or we expect that they should know, but a lot of time they don't know, or a lot of time they know it wrong. There's so many studies going on that let people guess what you think, and you know that more than 90% people guess wrong. Nobody can read your mind. Most people cannot read your mind unless they know you very well. But in a lot of relationships, we don't talk and we just think that they know, or we hope that they know, especially wife and husband. Even married many years, never say a word, never tell what they feel, never tell what they want, and just expect that another side know everything. No, they don't know. And if you ask them to guess, they most of the time guess wrong. So tell them what you feel, what you think, what you want. Let people know. And listen to them too. Communication is not one way, it's two-way. Mean that they let you know, you let them know. You communicate, you respond to one another, feeling, and respond to what they want to say. To make it clear that we understand correctly. There's nothing wrong to ask that, do I understand you correctly? Or I want to think that this is what I understand. So let people know that you think this way, is that correct or not? So they can tell you that it's not what they say. Sometimes we think we understand what they say, but a lot of time, no, it's still wrong. So confirm that they say that and you understand it correctly. So this is the good communication. A lot of time we don't have a good one because we understand not correctly, or we guess wrong, or people think that we know, but no, we don't know. So this is a lot of things that cause problems. Be vulnerable. Vulnerable, what that mean? Mean that let people know that you are not perfect man. You are not Superman or super lady. You're just a human being. You have feeling. You have mistake. And you can break down or you can correct. And people care if you show that you are just a human being. You have feeling. You have hurt. But a lot of people show off that I am Superman. I don't feel anything. I don't hurt. I don't get hurt. I don't have pain. So it's not a real thing. You know that why baby got all love from anyone, even stranger? Because baby is vulnerable. Vulnerable mean that we know that baby is defenseless, cannot protect themselves. And everyone want to save and protect baby. So this is something that we need to be real. We are not Superman. We are not perfect. We're just human beings. We can get hurt, we can get sick, and we can get depressed. Let people see that. Some people say that I never show my tear. I never show my pain. I never show my weakness. And that is wrong. Even leader can feel the pain and can get hurt. So be real to your people and to your team. Number 7 of the advice is be helpful. Offer to help. When you know that your team need help or need a lot of support, offer help. Don't ignore them when they need your help or they're in bad shape. Offer to support them, offer to help them. Show that you care. It's not a better time to help when they need your help. A lot of time you want to help them, they don't need your help. But when they need it, why don't you do something? So you know that they hurt, they're in need, they suffer, offer help. And always be ready to help. That is your team. Show people that you care. Well, by saying that one thing, by doing is another thing. So both go hand in hand. Say it and do it. And keep it. So that is the way that you care for people. And when they really need your help the most, be there. And some people say, I don't know what to do. You know, sometimes you don't need to do much, just be there. And that already means so much that people see that you care. You just be part of their life. Now I stand up for what is right. In order to earn people's trust, you need to be someone who have some principle, mean that you believe in something strongly and keep it. Your principle will make you stand out, that you don't just live for yourself, but you have purpose in your life. And that will make people feel that, oh, you do something beyond yourself, not just for yourself. Be transparent. What that means? Mean that people can see how you think, how you feel, not because you are a fake one or a lie one. Transparent mean that they can see through you. and still see the real you, not the fake you, not someone that is not you. Now there are 10 advice here. I want to come back to you and to see how you feel about that 10 advice that you can do it. Which one is the most difficult to do? Or which one that you're already doing every day? And you see that it's so important in your team or in your life that you do that and it works. Or which one you see that it doesn't work? You already try it, it doesn't work. Be transparent, stand up for the right thing, show that you care, helpful, vulnerable, communicate effectively, admit you are wrong, honor your commitment, be honest, value long-term relationship. Okay, that 10 things, I want you to think about it and say that which one you try, which one work well, which one doesn't work, and which one you cannot do it. So think about it a little bit. I will come to you and let you share.
Yes, Ajahn, can you show number 8 and 9?
Okay, number 8 and 9.
Yes.
Show that you care and stand up for the right.
Yes. For me, I've been on the upper management for the last maybe 21, 22 years. Number 8 really works for me because anytime when they do something, before that I put them on that position, I already teach them already. So then that means that anytime when they do something and then show them that I care, then I help them out. So that it works really well. And as number 9, as a dealer, then they feel insecure about their job. So then it is job security. So then anytime when they do something wrong, one time it's okay, second time it's a write-up, okay? Third time, if it's the same problem, same problem occur, then it's gonna be, just suspended. So just because on as number 9 here, I set the ground rule for them. Okay. So then when they, example, if they I can tell if they're tired, if they don't sleep well, if they're tired, maybe a minor mistake, it's okay. But then so many times the same mistake, then it's a write-up. And then also for the job security too. And a lot of the dealers, when they're afraid, and then they do something wrong. It's like I have to stand. I have to set up a ground rule for them. So number 8, number 9 works. That's really well for me.
Okay, good. Thank you. So how about the rest of you? Which one that worked very well with you?
To me, I think number 3.
Okay, let's look at number 3.
Yeah.
Honor your commitment.
Yeah, kind of three, somehow we trust people too much. Sometimes we can broken heart. We try to do everything what I can do, what I expect to do, but I will have to follow up, and then it's come out doesn't like what we said, what we promised. So that's how we broken heart from there. Because we trust too much, everything we go for, even whole life, we go for the only one thing, whatever my goal, and then it come out, it doesn't like that. So that's the reason.
Yeah, as we talked before, you cannot change other people, but you can change yourself. Only God can change them. So you still keep your commitment. So don't worry about other people.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you're going to be someone that every team wants you, and everyone wants your friendship. So anyone else want to share your experience with relationship, with trust, with your team, with your group?
Ajahn, for me, it's number 2 and number 4.
Be honest. Admit when you're wrong. It worked well with your church, with your culture?
As a Christian, yes, but being honest and when you admit it when you're wrong is going against the society.
You know that in some culture, it's sometimes difficult. I don't mean that they're dishonest, but it becomes part of that pattern of that culture that don't take it too seriously. So it becomes people lie a lot, but they don't feel this is a lie. They just feel that this is a polite way to say no, or the polite way to don't hurt other people's feelings by saying yes all the time, but don't keep it. So that is not a good culture, though, even they mean good. Now, some people say, oh, if a little kid, can I lie to them all the time? No. Even little kid, you should not lie. But in our culture, sometimes the kid asks, where I come from? The Thai always say that you come from a bamboo. When dad go to the jungle and cut a bamboo, you come out. Everyone knows it's a lie. And the little kid might not know until they grow up to the point and they know the dad lie. A lot more things. It become common thing that people lie.
Chan,
Yeah.
I have one, I don't know which number, but for that one, for the vocabulary, it's a little bit difficult for me. Vulnerable, that one, I don't know exactly. Is this for be vulnerable?
Yeah, number 6.
Yeah, number 6. It's just, what is the Thai mean? It's a jai on got.
No, not jai on, not on jai. It just means thatยอมรับความอ่อนแอของตนเอง
Oh, okay, okay.
It just means that we are not Superman. We are human beings.
Mm.
We can get hurt. We can get sick. We can get disappointed. We can give up. Don't act that you are Superman. You don't have those feelings. So it's just about let people see you hurt, you sick. And people can connect with you better. Yeah, sometimes in our culture, leader cannot show that.
So
Because
that way they just you know what do whatever, they don't let people know, or meaning.
yes, people sometimes hiding their sickness or hiding their problem.
Like
Okay.
you feel really, really
Then later on we can get sick. That's
you feel weak, but
Yep.
you act like you still strong or something.
Mhm. Let be yourself. Don't try to act as if that you are not yourself. You are someone else.
that a little bit related to me, Chan.
Mhm.
Sometimes I said I think I still a strong Superman enough. That's why until I cannot go, and then that I realize that I have no power, but I hiding. That's a part a little bit about me. Yeah.
Yeah, most cultures look at leader as Superman.
So I don't think so. That work, right, John? No good, right? So
Yeah, it's not good.
yeah.
If you show people that you're sick, and you just like them, they connect with you better.
Okay.
Because they feel that you are real human like them. So this is something that a lot of time we hiding. When we're sick, or when we have problem, or we need help, we don't tell. We don't act as if. We act as if we don't have any problem. We are not sick. We always good. But that's not true.
Sometimes that we are sick, but when the members sick, everyone we know, but sometimes when leader sick, somebody don't know,
Well, you hiding or you show them.
But sometimes not so, but they don't look like they don't care or something like that.
Somebody might not care, that okay, but someone care.
Yes, someone care, but somebody they don't care.
You ever
But
let your team know that you're sick, and they show anything that they care for you?
Yeah, sometimes we have to hide. Sometimes when they need to pray for them and go visit them, we have to go, but sometimes we try to, but we have to go.
Well, next time they can call people, say that, oh, I'm sick, I need a rest all day, and I will pray for you and get to you when I'm getting better. So be sincere and let them know that you're sick too.
Yeah, that's going to be good, huh?
Yes, yes. Especially in time of COVID. If you're sick and go to visit the sick, they might not happy. Now is a good time to let them know I'm sick too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yep.
For me, number 2 and number 7, that's good for me, and all the time, between
Okay.
me and God and between the people, and
Yes.
like if they need help, anything I can do, I do what I say,
Yeah, be
Somebody
honest.
say, but they don't do what they say. Somebody.
Yeah, don't worry about them. Just worry about yourself. You keep what you're supposed to do. As a leader, as a supervisor or pastor, this is advice for us. Okay, let me try to finish the whole lecture here first, and then we can take a break. Now, then more advice, 7 ways to build trust relationship. What you mean and mean what you say is similar to what we already learned. This is from another perspective of relationship with someone that you care a lot. And this is the advice that they give to a couple, or even for a married couple, they give this advice too. A lot of time we have problems because we don't mean what we say. So we need to mean what we say and doing the same thing. And it also the same advice. Let people see that you are a human being. You can be sick, you can be hurt, and you have problems too. But sometimes don't show right away after you don't show them for so long. Now you need to let them see a little bit at a time. Well, another person overnight. So sometimes they want to see you change a little bit slowly. So they advise you to go slow in something that people will not have a wrong idea about you. Number 3, they say respect is the same, similar to you as a supervisor manager, but here the advice for a lot of couple one-on-one relationship. Respect you, give a high credit. Give the benefit of the doubt. What that means? It means that a lot of time people say that guy is wrong, that guy do a bad thing, but because you cannot prove. So it's like in the law in America. You always believe that people innocent until proved guilty. This is the benefit of the doubt. Mean that don't believe in everything until it proved that they are guilty without reasonable doubt. So it's the same thing when you have relationship. Don't believe everything, don't trust other people. You need to trust your team, or the one that you know for so long. Even people say bad things, give the benefit of the doubt, mean that need to prove first. Express your feeling functionally, especially when it's tough. Mean that show out what you feel, not just feel it and hope people will see it. A lot of times you need to make people understand your feeling, or let them understand correctly. Don't let them guess. Take a list together. As a team or as a couple, sometimes to build trust and relationship, you need to try something together. Even you fail, you still gain that trust that you are a team. You're going to die together, you're going to be successful together, but the thing you get from working together is a team that you can trust one another in success or in failure. Like when you get married, the preacher will ask you in better or in worse, in health and in sickness. This is what a team is supposed to have. Willing to give as well as receive It's both way. You cannot keep all the time, or you cannot receive all the time. It's an exchange. People it's the same thing. Now, if you already broke your trust, if people already don't trust you anymore, you try to get it back. It takes time. It takes a lot of work. So it still can be done, mean that you need to earn your trust back. You need to make people trust you again. But it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of work. And people will give you a chance if you show them that you really care for that relationship, you really care for your team. People will give you another chance. If you show them that you sincerely sorry and want to start all over, most people will give you another chance. So don't give up. Don't say that I fail. I don't have any chance. No, we always have a second chance. So don't give up. Even we fail, even the team broke down, or even nothing worked now. You can start all over again anytime. Just don't give up. Okay, I will come back to you and for your question or reflection. Building trust is the foundation of a good team. Your team needs to trust one another and care for one another, and ready to be successful or fail together too. So that's important though. A lot of teams just want to be successful, cannot take failure. But if you have a good team, they will fail with you, even die with you. That's a good team. We don't expect success all the time. A team is a team for whatever situation. You know that when you train in the army, you will have another soldier with you, they call your buddy. So they pair you with another one and they tell you that you're going to protect one another, die together, sleep together. You need to be always for your friend. If not, you die too. And that's the way they train soldiers. You have your buddy. You have your team. Their survival is your survival. If they die, you die too. So that is so important to make the soldier work hard. Because it's not just about himself, it's also his mate, his buddy. And that relationship can last a lifetime. So now you look at your own team. You might be surprised that some of your team will be your friend until they die, and good friend. You start with you work together, you trust one another, and you care for one another, and that relationship will last forever. If you care enough to make it last. A lot of time, people don't care too much. They just think this is a job. We work together for a few months, a few years, and then bye-bye, no more. But if you care for it to last your lifetime, it will last. Do you think so? It has to start somewhere. And you know that we learn from this, and it's not need to apply for us. Our relationship with God, with Jesus, have to be lifetime. You ever think this way? If you cannot have a good relationship with other human beings, you think you can have a good one with Jesus or with God? Yes, Nathan.
And I really like your last comment. Based on what I seen, I heard. I don't know what you taught them, your past students, but it didn't happen the way we see. Doesn't the outcome and the way it's heading to is not what you are teaching right now. So
Yeah, I have to confess, I teach a lot of things according to the subject they asked me to teach. And you know, this is a new thing that we never learn.
okay.
Because this program they call leadership that we never learned. In the past, we just learned all the basic things, Bible, theology, history, all the practical things. But all this leadership thing about how leaders supposed to be, how we supposed to act, or how we to care about other people, we never learn. We just start learning this thing a few years ago. And this is a big change.
Yeah.
Far out in the past. Yes.
Yeah, I think what you're teaching tonight, what I heard, your last word is I think it's returning point of the I see differently, but I think from now on we can see, okay, we have to work together. But in the past, what we see, just like, I want to build my church under my name. I want to, build my throne. So yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah, in the past, we just want to give them the most knowledge we can give.
Yeah.
But now I think the goal changed. The seminary changed too.
Yeah, Ajahn, a question. Did when the Golden Gate changed to be a gateway, did they change the directors or the headquarters people? It seems like a lot of things just like change.
A lot of things going on. But if you ask me, the president is the same one. And the leadership team still the same one. But I think that goal changed. And the thinking of ministry changed a lot. So I hope it's a better change, because in the past we just like a college or some graduate school. We just try to compete with all the graduate school. That's what our goal in the past. We make scholar. But now I think the goal changed. They want to make Jesus disciple now. Yes. You have any more comment or question?
Ajahn, I have a question about the, I mean, as letter that I sent to you. Did you receive it?
Oh yeah, today I just got it this afternoon.
Okay, great. And the first one is good too, right?
Yes, the first one I received it last week.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes.
Welcome. Yeah, some of your check might take some time to go through the process.
Yeah. So, so the application for the, as a graduation to get the, the certificate, it is going to be on the December 3rd too?
I don't know, because normally they give diploma at the end of semester. So they will print out everything for the last day. So it depends on, because we don't go to the ceremony and they could send it to us. So we have to wait and see. But even we don't have a real one, you can have a fake one first. And just have the picture, the ceremony, until the real one comes. So you know that most of the students who work on the graduation get the fake one. They don't get the real one yet. This is the fact, a secret.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So who is graduating to get the diploma?
In fact, Cat and Farm graduate last semester, last year, but never have ceremony because of COVID.
Right.
So they can walk to take the picture too.
Yes.
And
Ajahn,
for the yes,
how do we dress? I was joking with him. He said you have to put necktie on everything.
if you have your robe, you have graduation robe, you can bring it. If not, I have some for you to borrow to take picture.
I'm not quite understand, Ajahn. I mean, are we graduating or?
Yes, you can graduate with, they call certificate, the first step. The assembly offered 3 steps. The first step, you just finish 4 courses. You pass 4 courses. The second step, you have another 4, so mean that 8. And the third step, you have to finish 16. So you see that 4, 8, and 16, that 3 steps of diploma.
I see. Okay.
And like Farm and Cat, you work on another level, because another level from the School of Theology that we call BA.
Right. I see. Yes. So that means we have to dress properly.
Yes, but if you have the robe, the any robe, graduation robe, you can bring with you. The preferred color is black. If not, I let you borrow we have some robe that you can borrow for the ceremony, for the picture.
I don't think that we have any, because we graduated. I graduated from high school back in 1985. So all the robe that I graduated with that's nowhere to be found now.
It depends. Some people prefer their own robe. You can order online.
I see.
It's not expensive.
I see. Yes.
I think it's from $25 to $50, the cheap one.
Right.
Because it's just pure black.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want your own size, your own fit, and your own, you can order online. Allow $40, $50, or even cheaper.
I see. Okay.
And me and Farm, we don't have robes. So
I have extra. I have 2, one purple, one black. My
Oh.
daughter graduated from the school, from college.
Okay.
She bought them, so you can borrow those.
Yeah, bring them.
And the cap too.
Yeah, we need
Cap and gown.
robe and cap and gown.
I have both. 2
Okay.
sets, 2 or 3 sets.
It's okay. Some of you tall, you can have a short robe. It's okay. We take the picture.
Okay, and it's on the December 3rd, right, Ajahn?
Yeah, we can do that on the 3rd.
Okay.
Okay, let me stop. Okay, tonight this class is a lot, but I can something with you. I sent you the note before, but I updated it again. So I will send you the new version. So whenever you get a new version of any class, you just use a new one and don't use the old one. And I believe that the old version have about 35 pages for section 4. But the new version, you could have 51 pages. I add more, some cut some out, add some more, because this is allow thing that happened allows 300 years. And this is the very strong foundation for the future church. A lot of things happen in this 300 years is the foundation of theology, Christology, salvation. A lot of teaching start in this 300 years. Because before that, a lot of teaching going on, but in this 300 years, they will have a lot of church council and lay down the foundation for theology, for all the teaching of the church. And there's so many important people that we have to mention a little bit about them at least, because they shape the theology that we're learning today in some way. So this is a big time for the church. A few weeks before, we already studied that the church in Jerusalem expanding and growing. But in the first 300 years, the church are underground church, illegal church, mean that the government, the Roman government, don't accept Christianity. So Christianity always in hiding and suffering. But as we learned from last week that under that persecution, the church growing. They cannot kill the church. They can kill Christian every day, but new believers join the church every day. More join the church. They kill one, maybe 5 or 10 more join the church. Why? Because God is with believers and they're not afraid to die for Jesus. And that impressed all the Roman citizens, Roman soldiers especially, impressed so much. The soldiers themselves afraid of death, but they see normal Christian not afraid of death. Why? Because Christians know that where they're going after death. They know that they're going to be with God, with Jesus. So they're not afraid of death. For them, death is better than living. But for all the Roman soldiers, they're afraid of death because they know that they're going to suffer. They don't know what their future holds. So that impression brings more believers to join the church. So that the first 300 years. Now, from now on, we will talk about the Roman itself became Christian. And we talked a little bit last week. It should be a good thing, but it turned out bad. Why? Because most of the people who join the church are not real believers. And they don't care to learn about real teaching. They just join the church because they want power. They want to find a way to make money. And they find out the church is the easy way for them to get money, get power, get all they want. So the rich people, the loyalty, buy position from church. They pay a lot of money. They want to be pastor. They want to be leader of the church. Even they don't know the Bible. They don't read the Bible. They don't know how to read. They don't care. They just want power. And how they do things when they become leader, become pastor. They just repeat the old Roman religion in church. Because that's the only thing they know. So this is the way they mix Roman teaching into the church. This is why they call themselves Roman Catholic, the Church of the Roman, not Christian. Well, somebody might say, oh, they are Christian because outside they have Mary, Joseph, Peter, all the same. Yes, just the name. But everything else is not Christian. They will learn to adopt some Christian teaching into their practice, but It's not what they really practice. So now, a lot of things happen that I say before that some scholar who really know the Greek, know the Hebrew, they really study the Bible and they know the truth. But as I say that the leadership in Rome killed most of them, shut them out, shut them up, threatening them to be quiet if they want to leave. So a lot of them died too. For several hundred years, all the scholars were killed. The Pope had a hitman team that he sent out every day to kill all the ones who don't obey the leadership in Rome. But here is some good people and some bad people. Why we learn about them? Because they become leaders. And their teaching going to be a big impact on the church in theology. But now we thank God that some of them are good scholars. And because of Constantine support them. And later on, he knew some good emperor too. It's not all bad. Who joined the church. Even they don't know the Bible, but they want to support the church. And they want to support Christianity by itself. Even they don't know much, but they have, a lot of them have good heart. The first one that we need to know is Ambrose of Milan. Who is he? He became the saint of the church because he knows the Bible very well. He teaches theology and become leader. This is a good one. And they support the church and the leader to learn Bible because he himself is a scholar. But you know that now Christianity through the Roman expand to Germany, to England, to France, to Spain, and many other places. When the Roman army conquer any land, they put Christianity there too. Well, even a lot of them don't really know much, but some of them really learning the Bible and they know the real teaching of the Bible. Now, why we talk about this person? Ambrose going to be the teacher of Augustine. Ambrose himself not so important, even he come first and become the professor, the teacher of Augustine. But Augustine going to be the most important scholar of the Bible after Paul. When we talk about who laid the strong foundation of Christian theology, Paul is number one. And after Paul, we say Augustine, because he is the one who knows the language very well, and God inspired him to understand the Bible very well. And he teach the fact. He lay a good foundation about salvation, about grace, about Trinity. He is the first one who used the word Trinity. Before that, we never use the word Trinity to explain God, one God in three persons. Now you can guess that because before he became Christian, Augustine is the scholar learning Greek and learning philosophy. All of them used to be Greek philosophers before they became Christian. Now this is another person. Arius, what is he? How about he? Now we never mentioned much about Constantinople, but here I will mention a little bit. Constantine himself built a new capital on the east of the empire. You know, the west of the empire have Rome at the capital. And Constantine never liked Rome because he said that it's not a good place to defend the capital out of all the enemy. So he decided that he wanted to build a new capital in the east. And he called that new capital Constantinople, after his own name. Today is Istanbul, the capital of Turkey. But in the past, this is Constantinople, the west that we call the Eastern Empire capital. Constantine lived here in his last day after he finished building it. So if you go to Turkey today and go to the capital, Istanbul, you will see a big, beautiful building built by the Roman. Because this is the capital, the Eastern capital, supposed to be a new capital. But things changed after Constantine died, everything changed. But in his time, he intended for this to be a new empire, new capital for the Roman Empire. Now, a lot of royal family and leader will born and grew up here because in Constantine time it become an important city, capital. Now, who is this guy, Elias? He is the one who started teaching that Jesus is not fully God. So what that mean? The Son is not equal to the Father. Now you can guess that today this is the teaching of Jehovah's Witness too. It's nothing new. It comes from even in the early church in the 4th century. The teaching that the Son is not equal to the Father. Jesus is the Son. Jesus is not God. And this is start here, Alice. We call the teaching Arianism. Today you might call Jehovah's Witness. It's here already. But he become a leader. He have a team who take his teaching everywhere. Now another important guy, we call him Athanasius I of Alexandria. Why he is a good guy? He come from the Coptic Christian. Mean that when we call that in the old time allowed 4th to 6th century, there are two groups of leaders. One group we call Father of the Church. Another group we call Apostolic Father. The difference is anyone that we call Apostolic Father mean that they are students of the 12 apostles or relate in some way to the 12 apostles. But we don't know exactly, it's just guessing. You know that because all these people live in the 3rd, 4th century, but all the apostles died in the 2nd century. So it's a gap of 100 years or something. So how can these people relate to the apostle? Well, that's what they believe, some way, somehow. Maybe they are student of student or some kind of direct relationship. This is why they call them apostolic fathers. And what's happened to him? He's strongly teaching about the Son, the Holy Spirit were co-equal with the Father. So this is the foundation that the Trinity will come on later on. But before that, people always doubt that the Son equal to the Father. The Holy Spirit is God because it's not clear in the early church because nobody lay a foundation for them. But here, the first foundation, Athanasius, is the bishop who laid the foundation. But it's still not firmly until later on. Augustine will make it strong foundation of the church later on. Now, we call another group of leaders that are the good teachers. We call them Cappadocian Fathers. 3 of them. 2 are brothers, and another one is good friend. They are the team from the same area. So they born in similar in the same time. They are good friends. And they are support of the teaching, the right teaching of the church. They also support the teaching of Trinity. But in that day, they still don't use the word Trinity. It just say that the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit are equal, same God. But they still don't use the word Trinity letter. But they support this teaching that God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are equal, same God. And this is the team. Another friends, they just the same leader and have the same mind, same teaching. Saint Basil of Caesarea, Gregory the theologian, they are all the teacher, mean that they learn a lot. And they know Greek, they know Hebrew. Even not so bad, so very good, but they know how to read the Bible from the original. So they know the teaching. While most of other leaders don't know the Bible, don't read the Bible, don't know the language enough. They become leader because of money, of power, connection. But some of these people are real scholars because they learn and they know. So this is in that team too. Gregory of Nyssa or Gregory the Great later on, they also in this team. 3 of them support the teaching. And another thing that they are support before they call Theotokos, Mother of God. This is about Mary. You know that the early church don't mention much about Mary. And they always doubt that can Mary, a woman, bear God, give birth to God. So the problem here will go on that maybe Mary give birth to a man, Jesus. Now we have problem. If Jesus just a man, because Mary is just a simple human being, how can Mary give birth to God? So there's a lot of conflict going on. Now, I want to emphasize that a lot of conflict in the early church happened because all these philosophers use human thinking to understand God. And they try to explain that what God can do, what God cannot do from human perspective. For example, they say that a woman without sex with man cannot have baby. This is man thinking. So they say that somewhere, somehow, Mary need to have somewhere to have a baby. And then Mary cannot give birth to God because she woman. This is human thinking. And they could have serious problem because they are philosophers, Greek philosophers. They are smart people. They use reason. But this is man reason, not God. God can do anything God wants to do. Man cannot. So this is why all the problem happen. They used human reasoning to explain God and cause a lot of problem. Now we come to Augustine now. Why he's so important? He know the Bible well. He know Greek well. He is a scholar. He learned a lot before he became Christian. And you might say that he a playboy before he became Christian. He enjoyed life. Because the Greek philosopher in those days just live for fun. Talk all day about knowledge, about wisdom, and enjoy life. So Augustine is one of them. Enjoy life to the fullness. But his mother is a believer, a Christian. She keep praying for him that God will change her son's mind, that her son will change to be a real Christian believer. But Augustine never came. He just go on to study Greek, philosophy, become teacher, so smart, and have a lot of students. But one day, God called him. It's somewhat like Paul. he have a dream or vision. So it was like Paul in some way, he saw a vision, God called him. And he said that this is not thing happen, not normal thing happen. So he responded to that vision that someone called him to change his life. So he have a very strong feeling like what Paul met Jesus. Paul lost his eye, but Augustine lost his fun about life. He not have joy to drink, go out gambling, go out after women. He lost that feeling now. So something changed in him. That vision changed him. So that the conversion of Augustine. Not. So now from now on, he will use his knowledge in philosophy, in Greek, and start learning Bible seriously. And he become a monk, and very soon he become a bishop. What's the difference between a monk and a bishop? In the old days, there's so many churches have monks, mean that the one who teach Bible, does all the ceremony. But amongst all, the most important monk in big city, they call bishop. So you might call the head of all monk is the bishop of that city, big city too. So he become the bishop. And he started teaching about all his knowledge. And now you see that all the long teaching come into the church, and he defend the real teaching. And what he defend, he come up with a lot of teaching about the Trinity. He coined the word Trinity for the first time by using the Greek language and all the knowledge, say that our God is Trinity. Today we know as 3 in 1. 3 persons in one God. But before that, we just know, but we don't use the terminology at all. And not about that alone. Later on, Augustine will defend a lot of teaching about the grace of God. We saved by grace alone. That a lot of church will start teaching that you need to work to save yourself. But Augustine said no, by grace alone. And argument will go on that how we save ourselves. The church will say that work a lot, give a lot of money, do a lot of good things. Augustine said no, by grace, by faith. That form directly from the Bible. But why the church don't teach that? The church don't even know the fact. Or the leader don't read Bible, don't know Bible. Just the one who really study Bible will find out. Another good guy, Basil the Grace. So who is he? Another bishop from Asia Minor. Now you see that the early church in Rome is not all believer. A lot of Christians live in Asia Minor, mean that in Israel, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, all the way. This is Asia Minor, and a big group of Christians in there. So you see that 2 groups of big believers, one group in Europe now, another group is still in Asia Minor, and a smaller group in North Africa, like in Egypt, Ethiopia. There are a lot of Christians there in the early day too. And Basil the Great also one of the leaders that come to support Augustine teaching. They born in similar century. They might know each other, but they live different part of the world in those days, and it take a lot of time to travel. But now we become to Constantine, the first Roman emperor who became Christian. Why we mention about him, even we talk about him from time to time, but because his impact to the church is so big. A lot of people will doubt that his conversion is a real one. Well, if you read his biography or the history about him, you see that he have a heart for church and for God. Even he don't know much, but he really have a heart. And you heard about his vision. He tried to unite all the small city of Rome into the empire. In those days, there's so many kings, there's so many small states, and Augustine just one of them. But he tried to unite all the Roman city into the empire, but nobody ever successful. And he tried for many years without success until we saw a vision. Now it's a good thing. This king saw a vision that he go to war with the cross, the symbol of Christianity, and he won. So he told his soldier that now on we will go to war with Christian cross, Christian symbol. And they did, and they won. That's the beginning of winning. And he keep winning everywhere, so he himself know that this is the real God, and better than all the Roman God that he worshipped all his whole life. So he converted to Christianity. And he do everything to support the church. But in the same time, when they say that the emperor became Christian, everyone will join the church for the sake of the emperor, to preach the emperor, and to find a way to make money, get power. But Constantine himself, he do a lot for the church. He built a lot of churches. He support the church by money and a lot of things that he think that he can do for the church. And he know that Christianity is the only thing will save the Roman Empire. He can see the vision there. Even he don't understand much, don't know much. And more than that, we know about him never get baptized. Some stories say that he want to go to Jordan River to get baptized, the same spot that Jesus get baptism. So they have to search the spot for a long time to find where is the spot. In fact, nobody knows exactly. But a lot of theory go on that the spot that Jesus baptized is the spot that John the Baptist chose. And what is that spot? The same spot that Joshua bring the Israelites to cross the Jordan River from the wilderness into the promised land. The same spot. Wow, we don't know exactly. That the theory go on. And Constantine sent his soldier to search that spot. Where? Well, we just opposite Jericho. But until the day he died, Constantine never fulfilled that wish to be baptized at the Jordan River in the spot that Jesus get baptized. Why? A lot of theory go on that because he know that if he baptized, he cannot kill anymore. And his big job as the emperor is killing enemy all the time. So he reserved that. He said, I will baptize one day when I not stop killing people. But that day never come until we get old and sick. That's why we talk about sprinkling start here. The church invent a new ceremony for the emperor Constantine, sprinkling baptism. It start here and will never stop because everyone loves it. Nobody want to get deep in the frozen water in winter time. So everyone light the way the emperor get baptized, sprinkling a few drops of water on his head. So now it starts. So here we talk a lot of good things that Constantine do for the church. Wherever he go, he build a temple for God, a church called Saint Mary, Saint Joseph, all kind of saints. Even go to Jerusalem, his mother go there, become a believer, build a temple in Jerusalem. His mother-in-law do the same thing. So now is the competition of building temple for God in Jerusalem, in Rome, and big city. So it's not just a few hundred years ago or just 1,000 years ago. It started even in the 4th century. But only the emperor and his family have enough money or power to build big temple, or you might call cathedral. It's how they started. And they believe that to do this will favor, God will favor them, because like Solomon built a temple for God. So they believe that if you can build a lot of temple for God or church, God will love them a lot and bless them. So this is the competition of building bigger, beautiful cathedral or church for God. Now in Constantine's time, it's not peace all the time. There's civil war, other city who not under the control yet still fighting, and the war go on and on. But for Constantine, his conversion is real for him. He will never go back to the old Roman religion, because he knows that this is the real God and give him victory and united the kingdom that his father tried and failed, and he tried and failed until he became believer, became Christian, and God helped him. So he do everything, try everything. That about Constantine. His legacy is still there. You go all over the empire, you see his building, you see what he have done for the church, more than any person can imagine. Not just in Rome, but all the empire, and even back to Jerusalem, the Holy Land. He built everything. He started a lot of things. And a lot of, you might call church, it's not like exactly for people to worship, but for the group of monks or nuns go there to spend their lives, devoting their life for God. That's what they believe. But you know that a lot of things that they have done is not Christianity. It's just the old Roman religion practice that they adopt, take to the church and change the name to be Christian practice. But it's rooted in Roman culture, Roman religion. But anyway, they try, and Constantine, we should give him the benefit of doubt, mean that he sincerely believe what they do for God, even he don't understand much. But he have a heart. And we still go back to Europe and see his legacy, his handprint everywhere. He's the first emperor who do everything for the church. So that's why we call him the Great, one of the greatest emperor ever have. Okay, I will stop a little bit after Constantine about what he did. And I don't know, you want to talk anything about him or his achievement? And here I talk about the greatest that we look back. It's about the social, cultural history that he have done to the Roman Empire. We might say add on religion. He Christianized the whole empire, the government, everything. He tried to make them Christian, the best he can, the best he knows. Even not much as we know of that is a real Christianity, but at least he tried. So he died buried in one of the church in Rome. Sorry, not in Rome, in Constantinople, we believe. because he loved Constantinople more than Rome. He lived in Constantinople in the latter day of his life, died and buried there. And we say that Constantinople today is in Turkey, Istanbul, the capital of Turkey. And that is another chapter we get to learn more, that why Constantinople now under the control of the Turk, the Islam, instead of capital of Christianity. Well, it happened later on. And we get to learn about that. Okay, we stop here to come back to you for a little bit reflection or question before we continue as much as we can. Hopefully not falling asleep. A lot of names, a lot of things happen. As I say that you don't need to remember everything. You just get the idea how the church growing. And a lot of people get involved, what contribution they have for the church. A few names that you need to know what they do, like Constantine, Augustine, and who else? That are the two important names. I don't know you ever heard about all those names before this class. Yeah, you might never heard about them, but you heard about their teaching. Trinity come from them. Okay, let me go back. Thai-Lao of Alexandria, who is he? Now he come and confirm the teaching about Jesus. You know that from the early church, they always have fighting or talking, disagreement about who Jesus is. In fact, it's not new. It starts even in time of Paul. People doubt that Jesus is God or half angel, half man. The thinking, the argument is always there. Why? Because each group always try to use human thinking to explain God and Jesus. So it's always there. Some people have new idea about, oh, maybe Jesus half God, half angel, or half man, half angel. And now you can guess the thinking of the Mormon church is here. Jesus started as a man and become God. And all God started as a man and earned their promotion to be God. So this is why Mormons say everyone can be God one day. Like Jesus earned his Godhead by his sacrifice on the cross. So any Mormon who sacrificed for the church can be God one day. So this is nothing new. It's already started. And you see that all these people start thinking, teaching. But as I say, that real teacher who know the Bible will always come back and fight back and say, no, your teaching is wrong. Jesus is God before any time, before anyone, before the creation. Jesus is only God. And this is from the Bible. John 1:1. Logos is God before anything, before all creation. The Logos is there. And that means the word Jesus. They use Logos to represent the Son of Jesus. But the people who know the Bible know how to read, understand the Bible, know the fact. And this is some of them. And now, this is another guy, Cyril of Alexandria. And become a very important leader. what he teach. He come to fight against the bishop of Constantinople, who teach that Jesus is not fully God to start with. Notorious is teaching that Jesus is half man, half God. But anyway, and I say that in every corner that this kind of teaching come up, there also the real teacher who know the fact, who stand firm and try to tell them and against them. Now, this is another important guy. You know that all these people used to be Greek philosopher, or they start as student in Greek philosophy. And when you study Greek philosophy, you also learn how to speak, public speaking, because all the Greek philosopher need to stand up and teach people how to think, how to argue. So they are expert in preaching. When they become Christian or become a monk, they can preach very well. And this is one of the famous preachers in his time. So they call him Golden Mouth. So very few people have this name, mean that he can speak very well, speak nicely, and people love to hear him speak and preach. So what happened to him? He just become simple monk, but it's very interesting to hear in history. People kidnap him to Constantinople and make him the archbishop. So you see that a simple monk can be a bishop if he go to big city, big church. But to be an archbishop is so big. It represents the whole country. So especially for Constantinople, is the capital in the east. Why? Because he speaks so well. People want him to be leader, to guide them, to lead them, even he doesn't want to. And he got to be a big, important person in the future because he preached against sin. And he don't care about who you are. Simple people love him, but all the leader or the loyal hate him because he preached against them too. But he doesn't care. So now you can see that what will happen to him, they will kill him. So you see that it keeps going on in the 4th, 6th, 5th, 6th century. When you preach too much truth and hurt the leadership, they kill you. So a lot of preachers, if you shut your mouth, don't speak against the leadership, you can do well. But when you preach the fact against the leadership, their corruption, their sin, they kill you. They don't care you teach the fact or you preach the words of God or not. Because for all the leader, Christianity is just part of their culture now. The way for them to earn money. It's not because they really believe in God from the beginning until now. So some of them got killed. Some of them were exiled, meaning that they sent them to the jungle or to the island somewhere to die, like John the Baptist. The Roman did to him the same thing because they cannot kill John, so they sent him to the island to die there. Now another Eusebius of Caesarea. He's already a famous Greek historian. And he started writing a lot of things about Christian church, keep record of all the things that happened. So he become one of the important teacher because he studied a lot of record and write down to make the first record of Christianity church. So we know about a lot of things from his writing later on. He wrote a lot of books, a lot of history record. So we call him the father of Christian history because he keep a lot of record. He travel, interview, and keep record of all the things that happened before his time and during his time all over the Christendom, in the East, in the West. But he have something bad about his teaching here. He teaches that Jesus is not the same substance as God. Why? Because he thinks too much from the wisdom of man, from Greek standard of philosophy. They say that man cannot be God. God is not man. It's not the same substance. It's like silver and gold is not the same thing. Even in reality, you go to dig for gold, you always find silver. It's always combined, silver and gold always come together. You dig for gold, you get silver too. You dig for silver, you always get gold too, in the same time, in the same way. But it's still not the same thing. It's still silver and gold. So he said that Jesus, even so close to God, is not the same thing as God. So this is another problem. Because they use the human thinking, man and God cannot be the same. And this is the wrong teaching. But he's so popular because he speaks very well and a lot of people follow him. And most people don't know what right, what wrong because they don't know the Bible. Another guy here, Epiphanius of Salamis, another one in the 4th century. You see that all these people born and live similar time in the 4th century, 5th century. In those days, all these people are leader, teacher, and they either lay the foundation or crack the foundation of theology of the church. And all of them are church leaders, and most of them have a lot of education. But still, a lot of education doesn't mean that they always teach the right thing. Some of them have a very weird thinking and the wrong teaching. But here he also joined Jerome. Jerome is going to be another important person. We're going to talk about him later on because he's going to be the one who translates the Bible into Latin. Now this is for the first 100 years in the 4th century since the Roman became Christian. The Roman don't speak Greek, don't read Greek, but the Bible in New Testament written in Greek, the Old Testament in Hebrew. But the Jews translate the Old Testament into Greek, the whole Old Testament into Greek, they call Septuagint version. So anyone who knows Greek can read the whole Bible, Old Testament and New Testament. But the Roman don't read Greek. They speak Latin. So, and they don't take time to learn Greek because they say they are the superpower. Like we in America, if they send you to learn Chinese or learn Thai, will you learn it? Why you learn it? So when you send the Roman to learn Greek, they don't learn it. So they don't read the Bible. They don't have Bible. So in the future, near future, Jerome will translate the Greek Bible into Latin. And now the Roman will have some Bible to read. But Jerome is the Superman, meaning that he himself alone translate the whole Bible from Greek into Latin. And we know that Jerome don't know much Greek too. He knows some, but not a lot. So now how he translate the Greek Bible into Latin, since he don't know much Greek. Well, he need a lot of help, but we don't know from where. And the translation not going to be perfect because he don't know much Greek. He knows some. But you know that the version that Jerome translate in the 4th century, 5th century, going to be the standard Bible of the Catholic Church for 1,000 years. The Roman Catholic Church will use the version of Jerome translation. So you can see that the church don't care much about the Bible. Anything go, anything good enough. Correct or not, they don't care. Because they don't want to study, they don't want to read to start with. But anyway, they could have the Bible. Jerome, we could know more about him because he could translate the Bible from Greek into Latin. So here he is. So his simple life is not so important. He is a simple man, but because he's going to be super important because he translates the Bible from Greek into Latin. But he starts similar to Augustine, playboy, student of Greek philosopher, enjoy life until he converts to Christianity. And a lot of story about him when he young or teenager. He don't get baptized, but even all the Roman now came themselves Christian, but he doesn't care much about get baptism because he don't know, and he just enjoy his life. But his conversion will come, and he go extreme, mean that used to be playboy. When he convert, he want to be a hermit, like living in the jungle by himself, spend time praying, fasting. That's what he want to do. So this is another extreme. A lot of legend talk about he was a playboy when he young or teenager in Rome, do all things, bad things like Augustine. And this is the normal thing of the rich or high class people in his time. They live a life of the Roman. Enjoy life, drinking, gambling, womanizing all day or night. And study, talking about philosophy. But have the conversion because they say that he go to the church and go down to the crypt. You know that in the big church in Rome, they always have a cemetery of the important people barely under the church, under the pulpit. And one day he went down there and see all the pictures, and he got so scared, like he saw all the spirits surround him, that one day he will die and come here and live here. So that his experience of conversion. He afraid of hell, of death, all the sin he did. So he converted to Christianity and go extreme, mean that used to enjoy life drinking, gambling. Now he want to live in the jungle as a hermit. No, not meet anyone, and study the Bible, fasting, praying, and that keep him go up. A lot of people respect him so much because he the extreme believer, an extreme monks, and spend a lot of time study Bible, and then he start the translation of the Bible. He say that the Roman don't have Bible, and the Roman don't read Greek, the Roman don't know anything. So he start translating from Greek into Latin. And he finished it, unbelievable, by himself. We don't know that the story go on, he do all by himself, but we don't know how much help he got from anyone or anywhere. Because this had happened more than 1500 years ago. Nobody there, nobody tell us. So we just accept it that he translated. Now there is another group, Nestorius and Nestorism. It's just another teaching about Jesus again. You know that the heretic or the wrong teacher always come up and always have problem about who is Jesus. It never died because, as you know, that even the Jews don't accept Jesus as God. They accept Jesus just as a teacher. And now all these Christian leaders always accept that Jesus cannot be God. He's just the Son of God, or just not equal to God, or not the same as God. All kind of different teaching come up. And it never goes, it never done, never stop. And we record them because they bring a lot of people to follow them. And they cause a lot of problems. But we need to know about them because later on, even in our time, all this teaching come back, pop up at Mormonism, Jehovah's Witness, and many other cults that we face today. It start there. It's not just start here. A long time ago. And a few more names that I don't want to mention, but you can read about them. Leo the Great, Peregrine, or this leader. And even a lot of important creed. Creed is mean the agreement when all the Christian leaders come sit down and talk about our faith, our belief, and write it down. We call the creed, or the foundation of Christian belief. So this is like a church council. They call to meet to write down what we believe. For example, this is the creed, the apostolic one. It just say in short, we believe in here. I believe in God the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and in Jesus Christ, his only Son and our Lord, who was conceived from the Holy Spirit and born of Virgin Mary, who suffered under Pontius Pilate, was crucified, died, and was buried, descended into hell, rose again from the dead on the third day, ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand of God, the Father Almighty, who will come again to judge the living and the dead. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints and forgiveness of sin, the resurrection of the body, and the life everlasting. Amen. Now you see that this is on the 4th century. We call Apostolic Creed, or the foundation of Christian belief. Now you can see that in all Christian church. The light on the wall or on the confession of faith or the constitution. This is the foundation. Later on, this is the first version, the first time they have it in writing. And we adopt it. Even to the churches, you go there, you will see this one. We believe in God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and all about Jesus. You go to every major Christian denomination, you will see this creed written in plain English about what they believe. This is the first one. 1,500 years ago, they put it down. And we still keep it even until today. So this is the first major one. And later on, we have the second one, the third one is nothing new. It just try to repeat the first one to make it clearer and to fight against a new wrong teaching that come to challenge the foundation that they lay. And you will see more creed, more meeting, conference about what happened in the early church, in the first 300 years of the church. Okay. You can read the detail more. I write them down for you that you can read about why they meet, where they meet, and what they write down. And each time a little bit different to emphasize the point that people challenge them again. So they call meeting again to confirm what they believe. So all the meeting is about to confirm what they believe. And the whole church adopt it. Mean that the church from all over the world adopt it, accept it at a standard that the church believes. Okay, a lot of information, I know. I don't know you still numb with all the fact, several hundred years.
Yeah, there's I just saw I mean, I communion, even, I mean, back then, 1,500 years ago, then they still do the communion too.
Yes.
Wow, that's, yeah.
You know that a lot of things we have done, they have done for 2,000 years now. And not just now, 2,000 years, a lot of things the church have done. Long time. And never stop. And how long we will keep doing this? Until Jesus come back. So when you study the church history, you appreciate what people have done 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago. They faithfully do what God told them to do 2,000 years ago. So we are just part of it. Should be happy and proud. We keep going to our children, grandchildren generation, several hundred years after us.
Right.
Legacy.
Yeah. So you see that it keep go on because every generation faithful to keep that belief and keep practice what they believe. So you see that all this thing is older than our nation, our country.
Yes.
America just 200 something years. How about the Mian people? You have the history back to how many years? 2,000, 1,000?
No, I think I probably like I mean, to my understanding is, I think it just been over 200 years.
We don't have a country, but but we have Jesus. I feel like we have country.
Today we talk about Mian history with the Friday school. Yeah, group. Approximately maybe about a couple thousand years.
Oh, wow, that long?
The same thing Jesus time, maybe.
Yeah, if you track back to China, you might have a long history.
Yeah.
China claimed that they have 5,000 year history.
could be because
Mm.
you know China is so big.
Mm. Okay, you have any question? Okay,